Welcome back to Night Shift with Justin S. King, how to transform your life one night at a time. Today we're sharing a story from the Old Testament in the Bible, a story about Joshua. Now Joshua was the man who came after Moses, who led the Israelites out of Egypt, but Moses did not go into the promised land. Joshua was the one who led the Israelites into the promised land. He was strong, courageous, disciplined, and known for obeying God. So when you read his story, you'd expect accuracy and consistency, you expect discernment, and you expect him to get the big decisions right. But in Joshua chapter 9, misses one. The Gibeonites had heard what Israel was doing. They were under a divine commission to destroy locals in the area. They knew cities were falling. They knew God was giving the land to Israel, and they were afraid. So instead of fighting, they came up with a strategy. They dressed like travelers from far away. They put on worn-out clothes. They brought old sacks, cracked wineskins, and dry, moldy bread. They wanted Joshua to believe that they had come from a distant country. Why? Because if they were locals, Israel would not make peace with them. But if they were from far away, a treaty might be possible. So they lied to survive. Joshua and the leaders of Israel looked at the evidence, and on the surface, it all seemed convincing. The clothes looked old, foreign, the bread looked dry, and the story sounded reasonable. And then comes the line that changes everything. And the men took of their victuals and asked not counsel at the mouth of the Lord. That's Joshua 9:14. And that's the hinge of the whole story. After they had inspected, reasoned, and evaluated the evidence in front of them, they did not inquire of the Lord. And because of that, they made a covenant they never should have made had they prayed and inquired of the Lord. A few days later, it came out the Gibeonites were not from a distant land. They were neighbors. They were locals. And Israel had been deceived. But because the leaders had sworn an oath with God, they had to keep it. So the damage wasn't that Joshua was evil. It wasn't that he was reckless. It was that he trusted his own evaluation without first bringing it to God. And that is how things still work. Some decisions don't look dangerous, but that is why they may be dangerous. The wrong relationship can look harmless. The wrong opportunity can look efficient. The wrong commitment can look noble. The wrong direction can even come dressed in urgency, logic, and good evidence. And if you only judge by appearance and logic, you can end up agreeing to something God never told you to touch. That's why inquiring of the Lord matters in all things. Not the big things, not just the crisis moments, not just when everything is falling apart, in all things. Because the enemy doesn't always show up with a red flag. Bad situations don't always present themselves as such. Sometimes they show up with a believable story and moldy bread. So tonight's night shift question is, what am I currently evaluating that I have not actually prayed over? Is there a decision, a work opportunity, a partnership, a purchase, a direction, a conversation, a commitment, an opportunity, a diet, a plan? Because trusting on your own experience is not the same as being led by God. Being sincere is not the same as being guided. And being able to explain something is not the same as having asked God about it. Tonight, before you go to sleep, take one unresolved thing and bring it before the Lord with honesty. Lord, am I seeing this clearly? Is this from you? Is there anything I'm missing? Lead me. Is this the opportunity that I should take? Joshua's mistake was not weakness, it was independence. And that's a warning for all of us. You can be strong and still skip prayer. You can be mature and still miss God. You can be faithful in many areas and still make one costly choice because you assumed you already knew. So inquire of the Lord in the obvious things, in the confusing things, in the small things, and the things that look already settled. One prayer can save you from one agreement that takes years to unwind. And when you pray, listen. And when you wake up, listen to see if the answer comes again. That's it for tonight's episode of Night Shift. My name is Justin S. King, and I help entrepreneurs find peace tonight, tomorrow, and for the rest of their lives through sleep optimization, emotion regulation, and discovering their purpose. Good night.